Welcome.
Time for a crappy cam DIY. There's this craze kind of going around lately with GPS on BetaFlight, with the GPS rescue. That's something I've been wanting to do forever, but I just never took the time to look into it. Apparently I could have done it for 6 months now. Something like that. Anyway, with 3.3, I think, 3.3 or 3.2, one of those. So, since it's become kind of a craze, now everybody is doing it, so there's all kinds of videos that have been popping up in my feed. Bardwell just did his, and a whole bunch of other people. Anyway, even though I just ordered a couple of the Race Day Quad ones, they're not here yet, so I gotta wait for a couple days. But I had this laying around. I actually have two of them technically. This is the GPS module from a Cheerson CX-20. And it's the Big Shark edition, if you know anything about that. It's the one that is cool-ish, but you can see it says CX-20 on there. Doesn't say Big Fly Shark on that side, but it does. There you go. You could maybe read that if it focused. But anyway, I didn't know if it worked because it's the Big Shark version, and that one is a little less cool, like I said, just because the flight controller is a little more proprietary. It's less open source. But I said, let's give it a try. So I peeled the white sticky crap off of the wires there and to see if there was a fourth pad, and there was. I guessed and hoped and figured that it was either a TX or an RX, and the white wire that's there was the opposite. Let's see, the white wire I have going to the transmit pad on this flight controller right now. So, okay, so the white wire is receive. I just kind of flip them around until I got it white. And then, so the gray is transmit, which is a little odd. You may not even necessarily need that one. I don't know. But this is how I did it, and I got it working. I haven't tested it on an actual quad yet. I just have it on, I think this is my Emax Magnum stack. So I just have the stack because the ESC powers the flight board. So I'm going to cut down to the board here now and get a little bit of light on it, and show you how I soldered it on this. This is a Emax. It's an Omnibus F4. So I'm going to chop down there now. Okay, so here we have the Emax Magnum stack. So the ESC and the flight controller. It's an F4. I put a motor on it just so I could make sure that I was getting the tones, because I'm not sure what the LED blinks mean exactly. And just to make sure that it seemed like it was booting. But on this board you have TX1, TX3, and TX6, or UART1, 3, and 6. And then you just have power and ground on each of these, and this is 5 volt. So what I did, sorry for the shaky cam, I need to get a better setup, but I just put the white wire that was on there to the TX. I soldered my own gray wire on to the RX, and on the GPS on that tab I found under the white goopy. What is that? Mastic or whatever I think is what it's called. And then, of course, red to 5 volt, black to ground. And plugged in a battery. Actually, I didn't even have to plug in a battery. Plug in the USB for that pad. Let's drag it over here a little bit. Okay. So, I got plugged in, extra bright LED on the board. So you can see that the board is booted and we have an LED on the GPS module. So because I am janky and the only screen capture software I have right now is janky, we're gonna go ghetto. So you want to go plug in, connect to BetaFlight, and you probably won't see GPS. I have mine set up already, but you'll want to enable expert mode so that you'll see this feature all the side and stuff. So anyway, first thing you want to do is come to the Ports tab and go to Sensor Input for the U.A.R.T that you have it connected to. You can see that's U.A.R.T 6 on the bottom. We have GPS. I selected GPS and I put it or left it on auto, but it auto detected 57600. So if you're doing this with this same module from the CX-20, you can use 57600. Go down, save and reboot. Next, you come to the configuration tab, and you scroll down, and you're going to have to turn on GPS. And if you've seen Bardwell's video, or most of the other ones, you'll note that they use the U-Blocks protocol. For this particular GPS unit, it doesn't work on the U-Blocks. You got to use the NMEA. Next, this I don't think matters. I used the North American WAS. It's Wide Area Augmentation System, I believe. For GPS, it uses ground stations and things like that, and uses that file for like a reference, basically, to improve accuracy. I don't know if that will make an improvement or not. I do know that this particular unit on the CX-20 was fairly accurate. So once you have those set, you can hit save and reboot again, reconnect, and then you should be able to come over here and click on GPS. And you'll see when you don't bump the UPS USB cable, you'll see, if I can focus, current GPS location, signal strength, and GPS. So it'll show here, it'll actually show your GPS latitude, longitude, speed if it happens to be moving for some reason. You can see we got one satellite finally. I live inside a big metal box, so it's not surprising we're not getting any satellites right now. Plus the GPS is on a metal desk next to my computer and all kinds of other stuff, like my Wi-Fi router's right there in the window, so not surprising at all. But anyway, once it finds enough satellites, it will, if your computer has internet, pull up a Google map of the current location of the GPS. So that, then you know it's working for sure. If you see one satellite, I mean, you know it's working. So that's good. You want more satellites, of course, to know that it's working well. But if you have one, the unit is working at least. I didn't even get that under the U-Blocks. With my door open or closed, inside or outside, I took the laptop outside and everything. It didn't make a difference. So anyway, from there, the rest is all CLI commands, and if you've watched Bardwell's video, the commands will all be the same. All right, so once you have those settings, like that's the only difference is, that I know of so far. I haven't put it on a quad and tested it yet, so I haven't run all the CLI commands to check and see if they work. I plan on doing that either today or tomorrow. My Remix is now my long range quad. I got the R9 setup. If you've seen any of my other videos with this setup, it hasn't changed. It's still a Hobbywing 45 amp, the Unify, all that. Although I learned something about smart audio and the Unify HV Race, which is embarrassing, so I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, all that side note aside, hopefully this is cool. Maybe you're one of those people that started off in the hobby with like cheap quads, and then you got that tiny upgrade, which was the CX-20, and then wrecked it. So you had one of these laying around. Now you don't have to go buy a GPS module. Anyway, alright guys, hope that was helpful. I know I haven't done a DIY video in forever, and it wasn't like super DIY-ish. I didn't show you the soldering. I'm hoping you can solder already. So there you go. This does require one of the latest versions of BetaFlight. I think it's 3.3 or newer. So there's that. I'll link Bartolo's video as well so that you can get all them doobly-doos on the confuser and for the command line stuff. And yeah. Alright guys. Thanks for watching. Drop a like and a subscribe. Click the bell, all that noise. I don't have a Patreon or anything yet. Eventually, maybe if I get enough subscribers. Tell your friends. Alright guys. Happy flying.